I'm going to take a couple minutes and talk to you about navigation and formatting in Google Sheets, and we're going to start with navigation. The first thing I'm going to point out to you is the menu bar. This is common in Docs, Sheets, and Slides, and one that I really want to point out to you is this data option. This is where you can come to sort and filter your spreadsheet and the data that's there, so this is a good one to get into. The next row down, this is your formatting bar, and if you just hover over the icons, it will tell you what these different icons do, so you can just investigate. One thing I do want to point out is if you have your screen squished like I do right now, at the end of your formatting bar, sometimes you'll get this option called More. If you click down, you have additional options on formatting. If you have your screen full screen, More will not be there. These will just be lined up in this formatting bar. Underneath that is the formula bar, and formula bar is where you can input formulas and functions within Google Sheets to help you manipulate and analyze your data. So you can put formulas in your sheet one of two ways, and I'll show you that right now. I'll do a really simple one. So I'll just type it into the formula bar, and it's going to go into the cell that I'm clicked in. So I'm just going to say equals 2 plus 3, and if I hit return, you'll notice that that formula is right there. I can also put formulas directly into the cell, so if I double click right here, you'll notice my formula bar is empty. That means there's not a formula in that cell. But if I double click in the cell and I start typing here, you'll notice that it's also putting that formula up here in the formula bar as well. So I can just complete that and say 3 plus 2, and it will do the same thing. If you want to learn more about functions and formulas, we'll do that a little bit down the road, and there's lots of information on the web, and many of the forms, the functions and formulas that exist in Excel work in Google Sheets as well. Let's talk about formatting. Google Sheets does lots of really cool things, but there are a few items I want to point out to you. The first thing is how to format based on the type of number you want. Right here, I'm just asking for a whole number, but maybe I want a date, or maybe I want currency, or a time in my cell. So you can change the format of your numbers lots of different ways. Google Sheets will try to predict what you want, but sometimes it doesn't do that. So if I wanted to put in the date up here, and I wanted to say it is 6/18/2015, that went in as a date. If I want to change that, I have some options. I can just click on that and come up here to format and number, and I have all these different options. So I can change it to a percent, scientific, currency, dates and times. I can look at different formats. So if I want my date and time to look differently, I can click right here. So you can change how your number is represented in the cell by going up here to format, number, and looking at the different options that you have. Another option that you have is to actually format the text and the cell that the text is in. So like up here, I have a red background and my text is a different color. So you do that right here on the formatting bar. If I want the text in this cell to be different, my text color is right here, and I can change that. If I want the fill to be different, that is right here with a little paint bucket, and I can change that to be purple if I want to. So you can change the color of the text and the color of the cell background. You can also change the alignment, very similar to in Docs. You have that option there. This is the horizontal alignment. This one right here is vertical alignment. So if this cell was really big and I wanted this in the middle of that cell vertically, I just click here and it'll move it right up there for me. I can also put borders around my cells. I do that right here. I can choose what kind of border I want, and it'll outline that border. That one's a little hard because it's got color on it. Let's see. You can see that that now has a border on it. So you can edit and format your cells by using this formatting bar as well. Another thing you might want to do, you can see up here that I have merged these cells. You can merge cells pretty quick and easy. Just make sure the information you want to merge across the cells is in the most left, upper left corner of the cell. So if I want to put in here but I want that to merge across these 4 cells, I just highlight those, and then I hit this little button, and you'll see that those cells have gone away. One last thing I want to point out is how to change row height or column width. It's really simple. If I want this row to be bigger, I just hover till I get that little arrow and I drag down and it changes the row height. I can move it up, changes the row height. If I want the column same way, I just pull left and right. If I want several columns to be the same size, I can highlight them all and then I can pull this one over and it's going to change the width of all of them at the same time. So it will create an equal sized column or equal sized row. So those are some navigation and formatting tips in Sheets. As always, don't hesitate to just click around and figure out what everything does. Have fun!